a man who predicted Adolf Hitler's rise to power and told him about it and then paid the price for it. Erik Jan Hanussen. Hanussen was an Austrian mystic and performer. His magic shows would involve women showing feats of strength like bending steel bars and pulling heavy carts with their teeth, and sometimes he would get volunteers, women again, to come up onto the stage and he would bring them to climax using only the power of his mind. In 1928, in a Czech town, he was arrested for using his magical, mystical powers to hypnotize and seduce local provincial housewives. This garnered the attention of the Viennese police, where a certain Dr. Leopold Thoman, who is supposedly an expert in erotic suggestibility, becomes friends with Erik Jan Hanussen, and they move up here to Berlin, where they start to sell special aphrodisiac creams and essentially start to become, notorious figures in Weimar era Berlin's wild nightlife. More and more people started coming to his wild erotic magic shows. In March of 1932, following the Nazis coming second in the German presidential election by about 20%, Hanussen predicted that within 1 year, Adolf Hitler would be the leader of Germany. You can imagine the kind of people that liked this prediction, the Nazis themselves, who then start to show up at his shows, including one bisexual Count von Helldorff, who's so impressed with Hanussen that he says he absolutely has to meet Adolf Hitler. Helldorff pulls his strings, and in early January of 1933, Hanussen and Hitler sit down, and of course it's Hanussen's job to predict the future. He starts stroking at Hitler's head, and it's at this point that I think we should mention that Hanussen had a big secret. Erik Jan Hanussen was actually named Herschel Chaim Steinschneider. He was, in fact, Jewish. This Jewish mystic is rubbing Adolf Hitler's head and closing his eyes and connecting with the ether, and he predicts that by the end of that very month, his earlier prediction will come true. Adolf Hitler will become the Chancellor of Germany. And of course, it's within a couple of weeks of this that he was proven right. Hitler's coalition deal came through and he became the Chancellor. And a couple of weeks after this, with his star rising, Erik Jan Hanussen opened up his own theatre, a place called the Palace of the Occult, where he could put on even bigger, wilder shows. In the glass room, as Hanussen was giving a seance, he predicted that very soon the Reichstag building would be engulfed in divine flames. However shocked the patrons may have been, they would be more shocked 24 hours later when the prediction came true. The Reichstag was set ablaze, and of course it was this fire that Adolf Hitler would use to establish his dictatorship. Only a couple of weeks after his prediction, on the 25th of March 1933, Hanussen's body was discovered outside the town of Oranienburg with 3 bullet wounds in his chest. His death, or rather his murder maybe, has never been solved.